Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital and welcome to this new video here on Avax, or the Avalanche coin, whatever you want to call it. But I wanted to make a full video here on Avalanche. It has been relatively strong over the last week. Did not cover it then, but right now the market is relatively weak. The market is pulling back. Same thing for Avax, which is obviously correlated to the market. So I wanted to make a video here just talking about, what happened over the last week. What is the situation right now for Avax, both technically and fundamentally, and what to expect. All right, this is quite bearish, and there's quite a lot of volume going into this bearish move. But do we expect Avax to completely completely give back all the gains that we've had over the last 2 weeks? Would be pretty severe, or can we actually hold that level and keep some sort of a bullish structure? Because that is what we're seeing right now. All right, if you take a look at Avax. For whatever reason, it's definitely not the fundamentals, because the fundamentals for Avalanche C chain are not necessarily good. And actually, March the 26th, we've had some massive outflows, but in general, the bridge volume is relatively low here. The DEX trading volumes are relatively low here, and in a downtrend. The TVL has gone up over the last couple of days but that's obviously due to the surge in price of Avax itself, which is a large portion of the value that's locked on Avalanche. So fundamentally, look, I know Avalanche is a serious project, and I know they're doing great developments, and I know they're working hard, but in terms of the data, we do not really see any fundamental reason to be bullish on Avax. However, technically what we have seen is a lot of strength, all right? Avalanche was one of the strongest major cryptos in the last week. If you take a look at the volume right here, especially on Sunday, Monday, the volume was quite high, pushing up the price. The volume was already very high as well, holding the bottom right here. So that was all pretty good. And technically, we also changed the structure. We were consolidating here between, well, let's say $20, even though that's slightly higher. It's like 19.5 was respected more. But we were consolidating right here between 19.5 and $18. We broke above that. All right. So in general, structure-wise, that's a bullish change. However, I mean, what that would mean to actually keep this structure change is that we would have to keep this support level right here between 20 and 19.5. And that I'm not certain of. All right. I mean, if Bitcoin is going to find support here, if Bitcoin is going to find support and turn bullish again on the lower time frames, higher time frames, Avax is definitely going to hold this, and we're definitely going to, or at least we have a good chance to actually rally up to the previous month POC right here, around 25.5 and 26.5 as well. So that is certainly a possibility. However, it's fully dependent on the market, all right? Because even though we had a lot of strength coming into Avax down here, but also over the last week, quite a lot of volume, that is not, it's not really coming in right now defending the bottoms, all right? And we are nearing the support levels that we need to defend. All right, so if we do not look, if I look at Avax right now, given the circumstances now, what I would expect is that we will be able to hold this support, that we will be able to consolidate on top of that. But at this moment, due to the fundamental situation around the markets, I do not think it's most likely Bitcoin will rally again. I think it's a possibility. I think we should be ready for it. I don't think it's most likely. All right, and therefore, even though this is a strong support, and even though I do think Avax has defended this relatively well, I think it's more likely we'll drop back down to previous support right here between $17.5 and $18. So even though I do not expect that on the short term, it's also a possibility, but I do not expect that. I do think ultimately a move down like that is what you should be prepared for. But those are my thoughts. That's what I think you need to know for now. So if you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.